Have you ever noticed how the things you want most often seem far away when you desperately chase them? The more you look for proof, the more you search for signs, and the more you wonder when it will happen, the further your dream appears to be. But what if the secret isn't in chasing? What if the secret is in becoming? Today, I want to share a powerful idea that has transformed the lives of countless people. It's simple, yet it changes everything. The moment you fully accept your desire as something that already belongs to you internally, your entire perspective begins to shift. And when your perspective shifts, your actions change. When your actions change, your results begin to change. Most people live in a state of waiting. They're waiting for evidence, waiting for permission, waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for someone else to confirm that their dream is possible. They tell themselves, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll feel confident when I get the result. I'll be happy when everything works out. But there is a problem with this approach. If your confidence depends on external proof, your confidence will always be fragile. If your happiness depends on future circumstances, happiness will always remain in the future. And if your belief only appears after success arrives, you may never develop the mindset required to create that success. The people who achieve extraordinary things often understand something different. They learn to think, feel, and act from the outcome before the outcome physically appears. They don't wait for reality to change before changing themselves. They change themselves first. Think about an athlete preparing for a championship. Long before the trophy exists in their hands, they see themselves winning. Long before the crowd cheers, they train as if victory is possible. Long before the results arrive, they adopt the identity of someone capable of achieving them. That identity shapes every decision they make. The same principle applies to every area of life. Whether you're pursuing success, financial freedom, a meaningful relationship, better health, or a personal dream, everything begins with the state you occupy internally. Many people spend their days focusing on what is missing. They wake up and immediately notice what they don't have. They constantly remind themselves of the gap between where they are and where they want to be. Without realizing it, they train their minds to focus on absence. And when your attention remains fixed on what is missing, it becomes difficult to recognize opportunities that are already appearing. Imagine planting a seed in the ground. Would you dig it up every day to check if it's growing? Of course not. You trust the process. You water it, you nurture it, you allow time to do its work. Yet when it comes to our dreams, many of us do the opposite. We plant the seed and then spend every day questioning whether it will grow. Doubt. We worry. We fear. We constantly search for reassurance. But doubt weakens commitment. Fear interrupts momentum. And constant worry steals the joy of the journey. What if instead you chose a different approach? What if you decided to live each day as though your dream was already moving toward you? Not in a way that ignores reality, not in a way that avoids responsibility, but in a way that reflects confidence. Imagine carrying yourself with the certainty that your efforts matter. Imagine making decisions from belief rather than fear. Imagine approaching opportunities with expectation instead of hesitation. That shift alone can change the direction of your life because confidence creates momentum. Momentum creates action. Action creates results, and results reinforce belief. This is why mindset is so powerful. The outer world often mirrors the inner world. When you constantly expect failure, you begin noticing obstacles everywhere. When you constantly expect disappointment, you become hesitant to take risks. When you constantly assume things won't work out, your behavior unconsciously supports that assumption. But when you expect growth, opportunities become easier to recognize. When you expect success, challenges begin to look like lessons instead of barriers. When you expect progress, you become more willing to persist through temporary setbacks. The difference isn't magic. The difference is focus. Your mind acts like a filter. Every day, millions of pieces of information pass through your awareness. You cannot focus on all of them. So, your mind highlights what it believes is important. If you constantly focus on limitations, you'll find more limitations. If you constantly focus on possibilities, you'll begin seeing possibilities. This is why your assumptions matter. Your assumptions influence your emotions. Your emotions influence your actions. And your actions influence your future. Think about the version of yourself who has already achieved what you desire. How do they think? How do they speak? How do they handle challenges? How do they treat themselves? How do they respond to setbacks? Now ask yourself an important question. Can you begin embodying some of those qualities today? Not tomorrow, not after success arrives. Today, because becoming that person is often what creates the result. The future you want is built by the identity you choose right now. The moment you stop saying, I hope it happens, and start saying, I am becoming the person capable of achieving it, everything begins to shift. Suddenly, you stop living from lack. You stop making decisions based on fear. You stop waiting for validation from the outside world. And you start creating from confidence. This doesn't mean every challenge disappears overnight. It doesn't mean obstacles magically vanish, but it does mean that you face those obstacles differently. You become more resilient, more focused, more determined, more aligned with your vision. And often that's when life begins opening unexpected doors. Opportunities appear, new ideas emerge, helpful people enter your path, solutions reveal themselves. Not because the universe suddenly changed, but because you changed. You became ready to recognize what was already available. Remember, every great achievement was once just an idea. Every successful person once stood where you stand now. Every dream that became reality started as a belief inside someone's mind. The question is not whether your dream is possible. The question is whether you are willing to believe in it long enough to become the person who can achieve it. So stop waiting for proof. Stop searching endlessly for signs. Stop asking reality for permission to believe in yourself. Choose belief first. Choose commitment first. Choose confidence first. Walk through your days with the quiet certainty that your efforts are creating something meaningful. See the vision. Feel the possibility. Embrace the future you desire. And then continue taking action with faith, patience, and persistence. Because the moment you truly accept your dream as part of your identity, something remarkable happens. Doubt begins to lose its grip, fear begins to fade, your focus becomes stronger, your energy becomes clearer, and step by step, the life you once imagined starts moving from possibility into reality. Believe it, live it, become it, and watch how your world begins to change.